Hey YouTube, my name is Josh. I'm a wedding photographer from Kingston, Ontario, Canada, and this is my first YouTube video. In fact, this may be the first time I've talked to a camera and narrated something, so let's hope it's not awkward. So this is a quick tip for X-pro3 users, and I know it's something that Fuji users have been asking for, and I don't believe is on the X-T3. I've tested on the X-T30 and it doesn't work, so it's currently only on the X-pro3 and hopefully via firmware update in the future to the X-T3, X-T30 and previous models. So I'm not really big on using the analog dials to dial in my exposure. Sometimes I do, but if I'm in a place where I'm bouncing back and forth, I like to have it on my command dials. So I set my ISO to C, my shutter speed to T, and therefore I use the back command dial for my shutter speed, the front command dial for my ISO, and obviously the lens for aperture. And even in this setting on the X-T3 and the X-T30, if you went from photo to video, it would carry over your exposure settings, and then bouncing back it would do the same. So that was pretty annoying for people who'd like to bounce between photo and video, i.e. hybrid shooters at weddings or just YouTubers, anybody that wants to have a custom setting for video. So Fuji finally remedied that with the X-pro3. So let's take a look. So I'm currently in video mode. You can see my shutter speed of 48, aperture of f2, and ISO of 160. So if I was to go into photo mode, my shutter speed is 500, my aperture is f2, and my ISO is 320. So like I said, in previous models, let's say you dialed in your shutter speed for your video and it was 48. If you went back to stills, it would carry that over and you'd have 48 and you'd have to dial in your shutter speed again. So now with the X-pro3 and hopefully with firmware updates as well as future Fuji cameras, this is the norm. Yeah, it holds your aperture or your ISO and your shutter speed to whatever you had it prior to moving. So you can see shutter speed, I could change it. Let's go to 60. There you go, 500. Bounce back, 60. So there you go. That's a little tip for you with the X-pro3. Great camera. I'm taking it on a trip with me in a couple weeks, and I'm hoping to do some street with it, some travel, some family stuff. Overall, beautifully made camera. Feels great, functions great. Not too sure about the flippy screen yet myself, but it's pretty easy to flip back and forth. It's not terrible. There's a little muscle memory for chimping after shots, but for me, the biggest problem is I like to shoot live view a lot, so you just got to flip it out. It's not a big deal. So yeah, I hope that helps people who shoot photo and video with Fuji cameras and are still peeved that their camera doesn't do that. Fear not, they've kind of figured that out, and hopefully future iterations of the XT line as well as older cameras via firmware update fix that, because this is how it should be, and finally it works. So yeah, thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys watch my future content. I have a lot of stuff planned, and like I said, I'm going to do a proper intro video for you guys to get to know me and to know what this channel is going to be about in the future. So thanks a lot, guys, and have a great night. Cheers.